Just when you think things can't possibly get any worse for the Washington Commanders, they completely outdo themselves. The organization faces a ton of backlash for a recent statement that appears to use Brian Robinson to deflect their recent announcements from the Washington, D.C. Attorney General. The Attorney General of Washington, D.C., Kyle Racine, officially announced that the city is filing a lawsuit against Dan Snyder, the Commanders, the NFL, and Roger Goodell for namely toxic workplace and sexual harassment, and the Shady investigation where Goodell decided not to release a report and sweep it all under the rug. This is what he said in a press conference. Take a listen.
For years, the team and its owner have caused very real and very serious harm and then lied about it to dodge accountability and to continue to rake in profits. So far, they seem to have gotten away with it, but that stops today. Today, we're filing a consumer protection lawsuit, a civil lawsuit, against Dan Snyder, the Washington Commanders, the National Football League, and the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell for colluding to deceive residents of the District of Columbia about their investigation into a toxic workplace culture that impacted employees, especially women. All of that deception was done to protect their profits and their image. With this lawsuit, we're standing up for D.C. residents who were repeatedly lied to and deceived. They have a right to know the truth about the companies they support with their hard-earned dollars. The Commanders, Mr. Snyder, the National Football League, and Roger Goodell deprived them of this right. The Commanders and the National Football League secretly entered into an agreement about the investigation that the public didn't know about. The public didn't know about the agreement that the National Football League and Dan Snyder entered into about the so-called independent investigation. This agreement enabled information about the investigation to be shared with Mr. Snyder and gave him the keys to determine what could and what could not be shared with the public. Furthermore, the National Football League turned a blind eye about the investigation to Mr. Snyder's attempts at preventing victims and witnesses from talking to investigators. The NFL even ignored Mr. Snyder's attempts to buy the silence of victims and witnesses through additional settlements and, of course, non-disclosure agreements.
The Attorney General of Washington, D.C. did not bring any new information to the table, which is fine. He summarized a lot of Dan Snyder's and the NFL's wrongdoings, explained how they knew it was happening and how they chose to ignore it. I don't know exactly how this worked, but if this goes to trial, there's nothing better than witnesses coming in one after the other to tell the truth, have it on the record under oath how big of a loser he really is. Dan Snyder's victim may not get a payout, but they will at least know that Snyder was held accountable for his behavior in the eyes of the law. Even the players are tired and want a fresh start. This is what Benjamin St. Just had to say, and I quote, "Since I arrived here, it's been a dark cloud over our organization. Every time there's something good happening on the pitch, something bad is happening off of it. It will give us a great energy to have a fresh start and regain confidence of the fans." So that's what's going on the Washington Commanders side of things. Let me know what you think in the comments down below.